Death or sexism? How do we start?
Oh, God. Neither of those are great choices.
We eat the greens first. Peas and then dessert.
I guess death, because that's how we traditionally start.
Ow!
Whoa.
The death of my thumb.
Oh, my goodness.
Drop that thing. Shock G has passed away.
Oh, I think I read this, and I can't... what is the big song that the
I could do it, but
yeah, go ahead.
No, if you want to do it, that's fine.
No, I can't remember because my brain is awful.
A big song. They had a lot of songs.
Yeah, I know.
He was the leader of the Digital Underground, which was I think they're from San Francisco, or where they formed. He was from Tampa, or Oakland, not San Francisco, Oakland.
Okay, there's a difference.
Well, I mean,
they have.
That's when you say Bay Area because you don't want to say Oakland. But I'm sure that Shock G would be like, no, I'm from Oakland.
I think there's a little bit of a rivalry between the cities, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
No, I just
later.
think... Wow.
Is this from when you lived there 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, I am really interested, but I don't know if our audience is.
No,
let me get to the Shock G
okay.
story. But yeah, he passed away. At the age of 57.
That's very young.
Why's everybody dying?
I don't know.
All these musicians are dying too.
I know.
He's like 27. I'm gonna do you 30 better.
Yeah.
57.
I know.
And it's too bad. You are clearly not very familiar with Digital Underground, and that's fine. They were. I don't know if you'd go so far as to say they were like an art collective, but they certainly were out of the typical. I mean, they kind of helped start sort of the fashion of the big flashy rap group, but they I've heard them compared to Parliament Funkadelic a lot.
Okay. And
just having like, a lot of people around, all contributing, doing different stuff. I think once it's weird because like the early 90s is when like gangster hip hop hit, and that sort of like really pushed a lot of these groups, I think, off the main stage to the point where like Hammer was trying to do gangster rap, on his follow up to the Funky Headhunter, his second album.
Yeah.
And so the groups would just be something like, Wu-Tang, or NWA, where there's like 5 or 6 guys, but they're all just like gangster rappers. But yeah, really liked their stuff. And they got caught up in that. I had a lot of friends who were really into Digital Underground when I was, whenever I was at that time.
Sure.
I don't want to get too revealing, but I remember that they were vilified and castigated with the 2 Live Crews and the Public Enemies and everybody else, which they did not deserve because they were just there to have a good time.
Sure. Yeah.
And get busy in a Burger King bathroom.
Yeah, right.
I should have started this like, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin your day.
Yeah.
Shock G's passed away.
No.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. That was the song I was trying to think about.
So, the Humpty Dance.
Yeah.
So assuming we don't get totally killed by YouTube or whoever, maybe we'll pepper some their songs throughout the show.
Okay. Sounds good.
To honor Shock G.
Yeah. It seems like not only there's like a lot of musicians that are passing away, there's a lot of rappers who are passing away at very young ages.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively speaking, like DMX just passed recently, and like less than a month ago.
Yeah,
it sucks. I don't
Well, and speaking of rappers who have passed away, and speaking of Oakland and the West Coast, they gave Tupac his start too.
Sure.
Some of his early stuff was with them. They're actually in, for some reason, I think because Dan Aykroyd liked them. They're in the movie Nothing But Trouble.
Really? I'm not really familiar with that movie.
I think you are.
Oh.
I think I made you watch it for a thing that I was doing.
Okay.
But, it's, long story short, it's this weird county in, upstate New York, and Chevy Chases and Demi Moore are rich people who get pulled over, and they think it's for just a parking ticket, but then it turns into this whole, the guy has this whole... the judge of the justice of the peace or whatever has this whole vendetta against. I'm really underselling the film. I haven't even got to Mr. Bone Stripper, but and so he pulls them over and he's going to torture them. But then he also I guess the Digital Underground was on the way to a show, and so they get caught too. But like he's like, "I'll let you go if you play me some of that music." And so they play like one of their songs. not the good ones.
Oh,
Another
wow.
song.
Okay.
I think it's all around the world. And one of the people who aren't even rapping, just a part of the entourage, is like a young Tupac. It's his first movie appearance.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, now I know what film you're talking about, but I haven't actually seen it.
Come on, folks, and fix yourself up some dogs.
Oh my god.
Go on, get in there.
I think you've shown me clips, and I feel like the movie poster is like burned into my brain.
Yeah.
And I've seen people like online like talking about it.
Chevy
It's just
Chase,
one of those weird movies.
Dan Aykroyd, John Candy.
Demi Moore.
Well, I wasn't gonna. Not a comedy legend. But,
No.
I think Taylor Negron is in it, right? Playing a Hispanic guy. That doesn't work. And yeah, it's a disaster. It is a complete and utter disaster.
Yeah.
And covered on an episode of my now defunct movie podcast, Craft Disservices.
Yeah.
What if we just quit the whole thing? What if we just walked away from everything and just started doing Craft Disservices full time?
We could do that. Is that something you...
It would be career suicide. But anyway, it's a fascinating film, and we had a fun talk about it. So you can find that in the Craft Disservices show feed if you want to. Mm-hmm. Okay, I promised sexism. Mm-hmm. Bitch.
You don't need to.
That's a joke.
I know, but geez, you don't need to like express sexism. You're like, let me demonstrate, just so you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, let's talk about sexism. We were talking about sexism earlier in the week. We were talking about. I brought you 3 examples of internet violence against women.
Yeah, right.
And I just was like, we've got so far to go.
We do.
It's just so baked and ingrained, and I don't actually remember what those examples were anymore. But I remember one. One of them was there's a website called Imager.
Yes.
I don't care how it's said. I say Imager, where people, it's a sharing site. People share links, and it's a lot of jokes and stuff. Everybody on it thinks they're a comedian, and they're not really. But anyway, some memes. But it's also like there's a lot of thirst posting. So somebody will post a picture of a attractive woman, and usually nothing else besides their name. And then a lot of the comments are like, "Congratulations, you won the Who Named This Person contest." Mm-hmm. So anyway, somebody posted a picture of Catherine Winnick from the show Vikings.
Yes.
And it was just supposed to be like, "Isn't this a good-looking lady?"
Sure.
And that's pretty much the first couple responses were all like, "Good-looking lady. Congratulations, you know her name." Mm-hmm. And then number 5 was like, a friend of mine is a cameraman on that show, and he says she's a bitch.
I know, I freaking hate that.
And there were a couple more things like that, and I was like, what? Who cares? What is the point of that?
Because we need to take power away from women.
Jenny McCarthy, believes that vaccines cause autism.
Yeah,
but you don't care when you're looking at her Playboy spread.
I think I'm
trying to appeal to sexists. If these people are only mean to you, then what do you care about if they're nice or not?
Yeah.
I can think of 100 male stars that I'm sure that they all admire, but are probably also jerks. Although they really weirdly love Keanu Reeves for some reason. And I got to say, good pick, because it seems like he is just, for a lot of reasons, he's a very nice guy. I think he was always going to be a nice guy.
Right.
He had a very personal tragedy kind of early in his life. I think that gave him a lot of perspective. Yeah, his girlfriend died or committed suicide. I can't remember his fiance.
Oh my goodness.
And also he's been in the right films to be able to be completely independently wealthy for the rest of his life.
He's had a very
you
successful
would be
career.
Cool too.
Yeah.
You would be taking Dogstar out, to play little small weekend gigs if you could do that.
Well, not necessarily. Then there's Marlon Brando, who is just
not a great guy, but also a complicated guy,
yeah.
And maybe not a straight guy too. Maybe he was dealing with that. But
well, maybe.
So anyway, yeah, it's just that's all you see on Imager, and then it made me think of another story that I saw. It's actually, I'll just quote the story from Kotaku. The title of the story is "Hot Tub Streams Are Waning, but Some People still think they're destroying Twitch." What is it? Because there's unlimited type. Your stories can be as long. The title can be as long as you want.
Sure. Why the hell
Whatever
not?
happened to hot tub girls in hot water? Right? The old art of naming a newspaper article title.
It's the lost art.
And so if you don't know what a hot tub stream is,
not.
I'm going to tell you and everybody else. So Twitch is a streaming site, right?
Yes.
On Twitch, people play video games, or not necessarily. Sometimes they just talk or watch public domain movies or, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's just a way to communicate on a larger scale to your followers. Am I rushing you?
No.
Okay.
Are you concerned about that?
But something that a lot of male streamers don't like is that some female streamers are going on Twitch and playing video games or doing whatever they do in a bathing suit in a hot tub or a kiddie pool or something
so
like that.
they're upset because women are basically doing thirst posting themselves.
It's thirst posting. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And there is a streamer on Twitch. I guess he's the biggest streamer, although I thought that was like Ninja, but who knows? I'm too old to follow any of this.
It could change.
XQC, he says that they're trash and they're pathetic. And my thing is, and one of his arguments is that like it takes eyes away from other streamers. Do you know what I mean? More deserving streamers. I think that would be the argument of some of these guys like XQC.
Okay. I mean, who can say? I think that who's a deserving streamer, and I'm using quotation marks here, is in the eye of the beholder. Because, like, I mean, you're trying to do something that's entertaining for people, but like,
well, who's your audience?
Well, right.
It's the thing of my thing is XQC. Hire a girl to get in the hot tub with you.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what?
Yeah.
Play the game.
Yeah.
Because it's you guys don't understand how attention economy works. Mm-hmm. And I think that women should and can play games, and there are definitely female gamers.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming here, and I think safely assuming that 90% of the audience is male, right?
Probably.
And some percentage of those males, hate Catherine Winnick or not, would probably want to see a woman in a bikini.
Yeah.
And it's allowed by the rules of Twitch, although maybe not for long. And I don't think there's anything inherently untoward about it.
No, she's just playing a game in a bikini in a hot tub.
And so male streamers say it's unfair. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. It's just it's a free market. You know what I mean? That's just enterprise.
I don't know, dude. Wear a Speedo. See what happens.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Wear a funny costume. I don't know.
Something like you said, or get a girl to like wear a bikini. I don't look.
It seems weird to suggest that they go out and get a girl to wear a bikini. It's weird
and it's kind of gross because it's like, on the one hand, I'm like, I don't really like the idea of thirst posting because it's like it's clearly just look at me, I'm hot.
This is one of the reasons that we have steadfastly resisted putting our faces with our content. It's just not fair to the other podcasters.
Would we be deserving? I don't know. But like at the same time, like if that helps you get, it's not really harmful. What is the harm in that?
Yeah. Plus, this is a growing and evolving medium. Supposedly, this has only been going on for maybe a month or two. I'm sure people have done this before, but it's a real hot button thing right now, and it's already declining. Like there are less hot tub streams.
I think
so. This is just somebody just found a hack. The hack is being exploited and it's being run through, and it's going to die.
Just
and
like
there are some people who
do.
might make it their thing and just do it. But yeah, exactly. But I just don't know what is it part of being, because I'm assuming XQC. His co-streamers and all of his audience are all, 18, 19,
mostly
20 years
dudes.
old, right?
Yeah.
Do they not is it the passion of youth, or is it growing up in this post 9/11? I don't know what 9/11 has to do with it. This hot tub streamers are the 9/11 of Twitch.
Oh my God.
Or just growing up in this digital age when everything is so immediate, and it's like, guys, don't you get that things come and go, right?
They always have,
right?
Like since the beginning of time.
I know, but they're crying like they've been shot, like this is the end of the world.
I think you're right. It might have something to do with it.
What does? The S word? Sexism. That was the point of all of this.
Sexism,
I think
for
it is.
one.
I think it's incredibly sexist.
It's very sexist.
And what's
but
wrong with being sexy?
Right, Austin Powers.
Spinal Tap, that's okay.
Oh, it's Spinal Tap. Gosh dang it.
You know what? I changed my mind on sexism. Women don't know anything. Continue, please. Please continue.
Wow.
Tell me about
I
San
don't
Francisco.
represent my entire sex, first of all. I just was going to say, I think that maybe it is part of like growing up and just like the immediacy of things and everything, and like just being impatient with stuff, and like maybe something Twitch has come very easily to.
It's the entitlement that really gets me.
I don't know. People always say, oh, kids these days are way more entitled. And I feel like they've been saying that since I was a kid. But I feel like it continues to be true.
It's funny because we, more than ever, we are breaking down these institutions of entitlement of privilege.
Yeah.
I think that we really are making strides in this. And the fact is that we've got the tiger by the toe and he's howling. All the people complaining about this.
Right.
The guy that writes the thing about how Disneyland is too woke. It's like, that's good. That's the pus coming out of the boil when you lance it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yet somehow we're still creating these young people, and we're making a lot of assumptions here. I'm willing to admit that. We're creating these young people that have no perspective.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm perfect, and I was born a while ago, but I should be super entitled. And even I can see that this is like, guys, come on.
Calm
You're all like
down.
Bisexual and have blue hair, right? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, seriously. Like,
drives me nuts.
Focus on your own stream and making that entertaining. And like, who cares? Like, maybe your numbers will come and go, but they'll come back.
You're in it for the long game, right? You're not planning on quitting tomorrow.
Yes, exactly.
What was one of the other sexist things that I brought up? I want credit.
Well, it has to do with what we're talking about today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to?
You want to pretend like I planned that? No, let's just stop and call it out. Yeah, well, I guess we'll just save it then.
Okay.
When we get to the feature. The feature on this program, the Just Enough Trope podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined, as always, by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mikan Hana. I represent my entire sex.
Really, just a host in all parts of the word. 50%, 50-50 the whole way. But we say it's second, so she's the co-host.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah, we can switch that anytime you want. And we're talking about something special today. This is sort of part 2 of our Mortal... We didn't come up with a thing for it. Mortal podcast.
Oh, I actually kind of like that.
Where we Mortal podcast,
and then the C in podcast.
Meek and Hannah's not afraid to die. Yeah, last week we talked about the 2 feature films. This week we'll be talking about the 3rd feature film.
It's actually 2 weeks ago, but it's all good.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
because they pushed it back.
Yes,
it's not our fault.
No.
Mortal Kombat 2021.
Yes,
starring. I don't know. We'll get into it.
We will.
Yeah.
Not
giving anything away.
No, we will talk about
kind of giving something away.
Are we? I guess.
If we had a Twitch element, which oh man, I got so many things I have to do. Do we have to do that too? What if I just twitched my whole life? You know, I start my day
weird,
starts.
man.
I get in the shower.
No.
Well, it's all shoulders up, like Save Ferris. Ferris Bueller. I remembered Save Ferris before Ferris Bueller.
I mean, they named themselves after.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like that idea that Richard Linklater, right? Before Sunrise.
Uh-huh.
That boring movie.
Which I haven't seen.
Okay.
I think, no, actually, no, I think I've seen one of them. Was that the first one?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, they're walking around. Mm-hmm. They're talking about, they're just sharing their ideas. I don't know what he does. It's something shallow, probably. I think he's actually based a little bit on, this is a Linklater movie, right? I'm investing heavily in this.
I don't remember, though.
It's probably based somewhat on Richard Linklater. And he's talking about his idea, and he's like, "Oh, I got this idea. Like, this is the wave of the future. It's a show where you just follow somebody around, you know? So they get up in the morning, they eat breakfast, they go to work, they do all this." And Julie Delpy's character dismisses it as boring shit. Oh, Julie.
Well, little did they know.
Don't try to get into development, honey, because guess what?
Yeah.
That's all it is now.
Yeah.
Did Linklater see that coming?
That's a good question.
Because if it did, he did not exploit it well. Instead, he spent 12 years making a movie that, won an Oscar or 2. But
yeah, I know.
Nothing you can do after that. Boyhood 2, manhood.
He is, I guess, really dedicated to whatever he does because how many movies did they, is it before sunrise and it was after sunset? Was there another one?
Yes, there's a third one.
Okay.
It's called
something.
Before Twilight, after Twilight. No, they get sued. It's another time of day.
Yeah. Right.
And it's called the Time of Day trilogy. I don't know what it's called.
Wow.
I had a really great thought and it's gone.
I'm sorry. I take responsibility for that.
Maybe it was about Linkletter. Oh, here's what it was. It's not that great. Have you seen the movie Primer?
Yes.
Nobody says it in the film, but it's primer, right? Everybody says primer, thinking this is a thing that will get you up to speed on something. Yeah, that's a primer.
Yeah, right.
Primer is something you put on your car before you put the top coat on.
Right.
But everybody says primer, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
In that, they invent time machines in that movie. And the thing about the time machine is that it isn't really like taking you back to the dinosaurs or whatever. It's it's a box, and when you turn it on, it generates this field. And then eventually you can get in the box, and you have to get in it when you turn it on. And then you can, depending on when you get out, you can, how's it working again? You can only get out, the box has to be on. The box is on.
Yeah.
You can only get out of the box from the point that you turned it on.
Right.
So if I turned it on Monday, and then on Friday I got in it, and the part of the conceit of the film is that you have to stay in it for the amount of time that you travel. It doesn't skip any time. So I'd have to stay in it for 5 days, but I could get out on Monday of the previous Monday.
Sure.
Why did I bring all that up? Anyway, that's how Boyhood works. It's a film that can only be realized because you spent you 12 years ago you turned a camera on.
Right.
I'm not doing a camera as a time machine thing. Sounds like a dumb idea for a Scorsese movie.
Don't give him any ideas.
With Sacha Baron Cohen. But and that's what it's like. So it'd be cool, like, okay, say you like the conceit of like, it took 12 years to make.
Yeah, right.
How would you like if it took 25 years to make?
That's what he's doing
well,
now.
You better wait 25 years.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
You can't go back in time.
No.
And turn that camera on.
No.
So shouldn't we all have cameras going all the time? And the answer is we do. And they're pointed at chicks in hot tubs. Let's talk about the news. Dust off the teacups and listen for the bell from Mary's bedroom because Downton Abbey 2 hits theaters in December.
Oh, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
In September? Really?
December.
Oh, December.
That's a weird way to pronounce September.
Wow. Okay. I guess this was probably announced a while ago, but I don't remember hearing about it before. Okay.
I don't either.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know when they shot it. Was it supposed to come out last Christmas?
This is what I'm wondering.
We've fallen off with this, huh?
Apparently. Okay, so I guess we're just following Mary
and
around
I'll tell you who's in it.
Yeah, who's in it?
New characters. I don't think it says who they are. Doesn't matter. Well, Hugh Dancy will be appearing in it.
Okay.
He was in Hannibal, remember?
Yes. His foil.
Tom
right?
Cotton. Not Tom Cotton.
Whoa, no.
John Griffin. Griffin Dunn.
What was his name?
Manhunter guy.
Yes.
Will Graham.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like Swiss cheese. It's just like Swiss cheese.
Now we're both bad.
Laura Haddock, who is, I don't think she's been in anything you know.
Okay.
She played Star-Lord's mom. Natalie Bay from Catch Me If You Can. And best for last, Dominic West from The Wire.
Oh, okay.
McNulty.
I know that name. Oh, McNulty. McNulty? Is going to be in frickin' Downton Abbey?
It's British.
Yeah, that's not the part that I'm thrown by. I'm just thrown by, like, him in, like, period clothing. Maybe because he was, like, a cop, and that's just burned into my brain.
He was also in The Affair.
I know, but
modern day.
I'm not...
300.
Okay, fine. But I just... it's really hard for me to imagine
Jigsaw.
him being...
Punisher Warzone.
Okay. All right.
What do you think about him?
I like him. McNulty? I like him. I think
it's not the man's name is Dominic.
He's McNulty to me.
I bet he gets that a lot.
I bet he does too.
Yeah.
No, I like him. I think he's a great actor. The Affair, I'm kind of like lukewarm about, but I don't think that that's the actor's fault.
I don't think they had any idea where they were going with that show.
No.
That's okay.
But no, I think he's a great actor. I guess my next question would be, are a lot of the actors from the Downton Abbey show returning?
Trying to think if anybody's been canceled. I don't think so. Armie Hammer was never okay.
No, thank God.
No, and Maggie Smith will of course reappear as Lady Grantham, Violet Grantham.
Oh my gosh,
Dowager Countess.
Yes, I freaking love Maggie Smith. We are so lucky to have her. I think she's a gem. And we're lucky that she's gonna that she's around to be in this movie as well.
Don't break your arm jerking me off, she would say to that.
Probably.
Let's talk about Marvel movies, and specifically the trailer for Shang-Chi, which was released this week.
What a long week it's been.
It's been a really long week.
Really hard to believe that came out just this week.
Yeah.
Huh.
What'd you think of it?
So I liked it overall. But it's kind of, there's a lot going on, and it's hard to see exactly where they're going with it. But it seems like basically he's been allowed to live his life the way he wants to.
Don't recap it.
Okay,
just tell
all
me
right.
what you think.
I thought
People have watched it.
Okay, I thought the bus fight was cool. I really liked the bus fight.
They like fighting on transportation in Marvel movies, don't they?
They do, but I don't know. I thought it was neat, and I thought it was well done.
Well, they go down what's it called?
Oh,
the twistiest street in the world.
Yes.
This is just the San Francisco show.
Why can't I remember what it's called?
It starts with a T.
Freaking live there. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, you didn't walk it every day though.
I mean, not that specific part. I did walk San Francisco streets every day.
Oh, wow. Sing the song.
I had no car. I walked to the school I went to the streets where I
Yes, and you ate Ghirardelli chocolate all the time. I know. You gave some to the bum dressed as a robot.
Oh, stop it. There were a lot of robot street performers, though. A lot. And they were either gold or silver metallic.
There's a song. It's not just a show, right? It's a song.
What song? What song are you talking about?
Streets of San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Or am I thinking of the Streets of Laredo?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was the song.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyways. But I guess what I don't really get is why is Awkwafina driving the bus at the end of that?
Why is Awkwafina in it?
I knew you were going to go there, and I guess I kind of set you up for that. I don't know because
sexism in San Francisco. That's what we're doing. I don't get it. I don't get it.
You don't get
why
Awkwafina's popular?
Why? I guess I don't get. I like Keanu Reeves, but I don't understand the huge outpouring of stuff for him. Mm-hmm. He's fine. He's in a lot of kind of crappy movies. They're okay, but he's not. I don't understand. And I know that it's a sense of empowerment. You have a lot of men who feel disempowered, and they're seeing this man live life on God mode and be in cool movies where he kills guys with knives and stuff. And they're that's not transference. I don't know what that is. They're seeing themselves in him. They want to be him. Is that the Awkwafina thing? Do women see Awkwafina and go, oh, she's funny and she's quirky and it's cool that she's Asian because we need to see more Asian people. And so they like Awkwafina. I don't think she's funny.
I don't know.
I think that she was not the worst part of Crazy Rich Asians, but just not a lot going on there. I didn't see her show because at this point, why would I check out a show called Awkwafina is whatever in the whatever,
I know.
I just don't get the Awkwafina thing. And I know that she was nominated for an Oscar, right? Last year for The Farewell.
Right.
Which I maybe I haven't given her a chance, but I just don't see what's going on with that.
I don't
Plus, she was a rapper, but not anymore. Now she's an actor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Queen Latifah did the same thing.
Yeah, right. I don't hate her, but I don't necessarily think she is the funniest person I've ever met.
All right, so... I'm sorry to bring it. It's not a referendum on Awkwafina.
No,
my fault for bringing it here. But anyway, the show is about our personalities and our reactions to things.
Yeah, right. So, what did you think of the trailer?
I think I'm really excited about this film. Although I will say that I'm a little. Underwhelmed or disappointed in the idea that I saw a lot of people talking about how oh man, the great thing about Marvel movies is that they all look different. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, they don't.
All Marvel movies look the same.
Yeah.
Unless they're Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that from this. Like, I just really wanted it to be, it looked and felt like a Marvel movie. And then, of course, you bring somebody's got glowy powers in, which I know is always part of the characters that they're using here.
Yeah,
but
right.
I just really got this idea that it was going to be like this Shaw Brothers kung fu film, but in like the 21st century.
Right.
And it might still be. Maybe they're just putting all the Marvel sizzle in the trailer. But, I mean, yeah, I like the parts of it that weren't superhero alien ray gun stuff.
Right.
I'm way more excited about that stuff or the other stuff than the MCU stuff. But I guess we don't have a choice.
No, I'm really excited to see this film, and I hope we're able to see it in theaters. Because this comes out this fall, right?
Yeah.
But I think that we really need a very positive film that's filled with Asian actors right now.
It wouldn't hurt.
It would not hurt, and I think it could be a very positive thing.
What about we're growing tomatoes?
Growing tomatoes?
Minari.
Oh, Minari. Yes.
I don't know how positive that is, but
well, I mean, it's about a family of
we could be looking at a Crazy Rich Asians 2 if there wasn't a pandemic right now, right?
I know.
Probably could have had that wrapped up by now.
Well,
or maybe not though, because it wasn't there like.
Was there issues with that?
Yeah, as happens when you have a huge success, suddenly everybody comes for their piece of the pie.
I don't remember what happened with that. There was talk about a second one.
Yeah. Well, there's supposed to be 2 more, but
yeah, there's a trilogy of books.
I don't want to talk out of school. I don't really know what's going on with that. But anyway, yeah. Looking forward to it. I think it's insane that we are. I mean, it's great that we're talking about this, but we should really be talking and thinking about Black Widow, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
If that effing thing ever comes out.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel properties, Olivia Colman is reportedly going to join the Secret Invasion series. And if that wasn't enough, Emilia Clarke screwed that up. Emilia Clarke is in talks to join as well.
I know.
The 2 grand ladies of cable TV.
Yeah, I think you were saying...
Well, one is a streaming service, but yeah.
You were saying queens.
The queens of...
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for...
You're welcome.
Putting a shine on my bit.
You're welcome. Interesting. I'm not exactly sure how. I mean, I think it'll be good. But I love Olivia Colman. I think she's a fantastic actress.
I've loved her longer than you have. It's not a competition.
Thanks. And Emilia Clarke, we've talked about this before. I'm not entirely sure if like she's that great of an actress or not, or I think that Daenerys was a good role for her, and like other things that I've seen her in I haven't really liked as much. So hopefully, whatever role she's in, it'll be a good fit. I kind of wonder, this is Secret Invasions, right? So I kind of wonder if either one of them will be a Skrull or
she'll
what?
Be Varenki, the Skrull Queen.
Oh, one of them has to be, right?
Yeah.
Is Varenki in the comics
spoilers,
like age-wise, younger or older?
Spoiler, well, it's a Skrull, so it doesn't matter, right?
I guess it doesn't matter.
Varenki's like a hot, like, brunette Skrull that becomes Spider-Woman.
What's probably Emilia Clarke then? Don't you think?
So then after she's revealed as a Skrull and they bring the real Spider-Woman out, she can continue being Spider-Woman. If that's true, I don't want that to be true. But it's funny that now we know definitively who is behind the immediately grab Oscar winners and put them in Marvel movies.
Kevin Feige?
Yes, because now that Loeb's gone and he is in charge of Marvel TV, what are we doing? Let's go to the biggest shows that exist. Game of Thrones, The Crown. Cherry pick their talent.
Yeah, right.
Bam. So that's a Feige move. Now we know. For sure.
Yeah. And I'm not entirely sure
because for a while at the Oscars
there,
right next to the station where you get your name engraved on your Oscar, there's just somebody with like, yeah, could you fill this out? Spins a form around and just, okay, and you're on board.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So we'll see what happens with that. We don't really know anything else about it. Except, of course, I think Nick Fury is in it. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
He's not that much younger than Maggie Smith.
Surprisingly, you're right about that.
That's okay.
What's
we like vintage talent.
what is the name of the guy who is a Skrull too? He's going to be in it again.
Numendo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn?
Ben Mendelsohn, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be in it too.
Well, he better be.
Yeah, he will be.
Stop making terrible movies. In Marvel adjacent news, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has a new directing trio.
Okay. A trio of directors. Not sure how I feel about that.
Joaquim Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson are directing the film together. It is not unnatural to have more than one director on an animated film.
Oh, okay.
But, wow, three people.
That's a lot of people.
How do you? Do you argue about things?
Yeah, I would imagine you would.
Do you just take turns? All right, we're gonna go with his idea. Next time, it's my idea.
Yeah, right. Huh. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but okay. I mean, I guess the Russo brothers, two people, and have directed many films and projects together.
Yeah, and there's the Wachowskis
and the Coen brothers,
the Shakespeare sisters,
right?
Not Shakespeare's sister,
right? There is a distinction there.
Yes.
Yes.
One of these guys, Kemp Powers, is black.
Okay.
That's good.
That is good.
Since it's a black character in a black world.
That's really good. I'm glad to see that.
Currently, of course, we haven't even talked about it because it's just not even on my mind, but the Oscars are happening right now. And
what?
Yeah. And he's up for an Oscar for One Night in Miami, feature film that he worked on.
Very cool.
So, yeah, we'll see. One Night in Miami is like the $1 Million Quartet for black people.
What?
In Las Vegas.
What?
Or no, Miami. Miami, it's like, I don't know if this is, I think it's real, or maybe it's fictional, I don't know. But Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke all, like, hit the town in Miami together.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's what the movie is about.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Well, I mean, that would be interesting to have a story about that, I would think. I mean, at least you have... Let me finish. You have four interesting people who are real people, so that has the potential to be an interesting story.
I'm glad you approve.
Yeah, okay.
I will let him know. Kemp, we did it, man. We got him.
All right. Okay.
WandaVision not getting a second season. I don't think anybody thought it was, but it's kind
official.
of confirmed now.
Okay. All right.
Why would you think? What would be...
Her getting her kids?
Captain America the Winter Soldier's not getting a second season.
You mean...
Why would it?
Yeah, well, I guess that's what they called it at the end. Falcon and Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out.
You're welcome. Yeah, they were just meant to be their stories that they felt weren't movies.
Well, look.
So they made a miniseries.
Right, yeah. But I mean, there's Mandalorian is never going to stop. Never stopping.
No, but I feel like that's different. And
it is absolutely different.
And I think maybe...
And plus the fact that Captain America 4 has been greenlit.
Yes.
With Anthony Mackie in the title role. Mm-hmm. And Malcolm Spellman, the showrunner for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, shall be the writer of the film.
Okay. Right.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I hope it's good. Because I really want that for Sam. Because I love
right now,
that character.
We're going to talk about the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Strong to
I think
very
Sam is
strong.
still talking.
Yeah, right.
I think he's almost done with his speech.
All right. That, make fun of it, but I do think that was a good speech, and I do think that was necessary. But you and I also talked about, like, why wasn't there more of that, like, peppered throughout the series?
Yeah, I'm 100% satisfied with Sam being Captain America.
Yes.
I think, at the beginning of when we talked about the first episode, I thought maybe Bucky was going to be Captain America. And I'm glad it was Sam.
Me
but
too.
Now, retrospectively, why was Bucky in this show at all? Except he's just, friends of Cap.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I love the fact that, ultimately the real problem wasn't, a little redheaded girl,
right?
Shairani, running around blowing things up. It's the the lack of empathy from the powers that be.
Yeah.
And the way that Sam solved that was by being a mediator and not, punching somebody out or something like
Which
that.
was so
but
cool to see.
Did it have to be a 5-minute long speech? Just from a television's perspective, that's bad pacing. And it also shows that that comes after 45 minutes of breathtaking
action
of helicopter chases.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we couldn't have addressed that better, spread that out more over the course of a thing. Yeah, it could have been better done. So the thing is that just unless you're Norman Lear, everybody's new at this, right? Everybody's has never written a TV show before. So I don't know Malcolm Spellman's credits, but I'm guessing that he hasn't done a $500 million 6-episode miniseries that's basically a long movie that is the 25th movie in a line of movies. I don't envy his job.
No,
but
I don't either.
You have all the money and resources in the world, limited amount of time, but hopefully enough time. Just can it be better than this?
Well, yeah, and I think that one of my biggest complaints, and this is probably what you're getting at as well, is just the overall pacing of the show, because I think the first episode, Bucky and Sam they weren't even talking to each other on the phone. They weren't in the same room with each other. Maybe that's a stupid complaint.
They restore a boat together. It's fine.
I know, but I feel like we could have started sooner and stronger, and I feel there were some episodes that I really loved, and then there were some episodes I was kind of lukewarm about or didn't really like. And I really wanted to really like all of them. And I just think that the pacing was part of that.
Yeah. Sharon Carter as the power broker.
I don't care.
Worthless. I don't understand why it's even in there.
Care.
It really didn't. It was completely telegraphed. Not an interesting reveal.
No.
And is she really going to be an ongoing concern going forward?
Apparently, yes.
I don't know. I'm more interested in Julia Louis-Dreyfus as the Contessa
Val,
who apparently had to be smuggled onto the set. They put a coat or a tarp over her.
Oh my god!
That's how secretive this cameo was.
Wow, that's pretty secretive. Yeah, I was really surprised by that.
To be honest, you have to kind of do it because if you're talking about who's going to pick up the mantle and the legacy and all that,
right?
You have to have John Walker in this, but John Walker could have been cut out of this as well. Do you know what I mean?
It was over. There was a lot in
his
here.
character
a lot
had
of characters.
An extremely shallow arc, and then pivots back to good guy at the end.
Yeah,
which I guess kind of mirrors the comics, but it's all just feels real toothless and just very little impact. To me, things happen, then they don't happen, and that's just how I feel.
Well, it's just I don't understand.
I loved it.
I don't understand why we make him to be the bad guy pretty quickly, and then within 2 episodes, he's a good guy again.
Marvel is just so scared of bad guys. Just
make him a bad guy or an anti-hero or whatever.
One of their first villains, who is an anti-hero as well. Loki is still one of their most popular characters.
Yeah, right.
They even found Black Widow. They even found a way to keep him alive after he died.
Right.
I just don't know why they are afraid of villains. Look at Zemo. People love Zemo. And I like, it's a Keanu Reeves thing. I like Zemo, but I don't get why people love him so much.
People freaking love him.
But maybe it's because he's one of 3 Marvel bad guys that is still
hasn't
alive.
died. Yeah, I think that is for sure part of it.
So anyway, we're still figuring it out.
I just want to say real quick, I loved Sam's costume as Cap. I really liked it. No, not so much. Ooh, that was a oof from you.
It's it'll be different by Captain America 4 anyway.
Yeah.
It was a little too comic booky. We all laugh at how embarrassed movie companies have been up to this point with the bright colors, and they have to, put the X-Men in black leather or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it is very comic accurate, which I think is great, but it almost felt in this world of international terrorism and spies and terrorists and stuff, it almost felt a little too bright. Maybe that's exactly what they wanted. But you know how they put the fish scale thing and they kind of mute the colors a little bit sometimes? It reminded me a lot of Cap's costume from the Avengers film, 2012.
Yeah, sure.
Where everything was very bright. And I think they did some, color grading to make everything brighter as well. Not as bad as Whedon's Justice League.
Yeah.
Which was just everybody's dressed as a candy colored clown.
Yeah, I know.
but it was just really bright.
It's very bright. I think one thing that stuck out to me was there's a lot of white in his costume, like on his chest.
Ironically.
Well, yeah, I guess. But so I think it seemed brighter because of that.
Maybe.
Because of the contrast against
yeah,
that.
I liked it in the comic, but seeing
Yeah.
it in real life, it's almost like, somebody's dressed up for a birthday party or something like that.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Okay.
I love the wings and the shield. I was not expecting
was great. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and they did a lot of really cool stuff with that. It was very action packed, and there were a lot of cool moves. Great introduction to Sam as Cap. I wish the series had been more like this last episode in some ways.
Well, me too. But shut up. We got to move on.
All right.
Disney and Sony have done a movie deal, which will bring Spider-Man films to Disney+.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was only a matter of time. It's probably a good thing, I think.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Still probably could buy the entire studio.
They're probably trying.
Not for one. Don't do it for one character.
Yeah.
2, Tom Hardy is Venom. But
Yeah.
but it just seems just so weird to think how fortunes change.
I know.
And how Sony was ready to put the entire thing up for a garage sale.
And then the film did well.
Not even 10
and
years
they were
ago.
like,
And
they
then,
were like,
we're
nope.
back, baby!
Yep.
That's how it can go sometimes in Hollywood or on Broadway. You've got it all, and then it's all gone, which is what's
boy.
happening to Scott Rudin.
Who?
Scott Rudin has been accused of sexual misconduct,
Oh, okay.
and he is losing all of his jobs. His thing, he has to resign from the Broadway League,
Okay.
and this looks bad. Looks bad for him.
I don't know who he is.
You do know who he is.
Oh, okay.
He is a producer. He produces film, TV, and plays.
Oh.
He has produced 8 of Wes Anderson's films. He produced
Okay.
Lady Bird, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Social
Oh,
Network,
wow.
Zoolander, The Truman Show, Clueless.
Whoa.
You are-
some big movies.
Yes, you are intimately tied to him in your watching.
Don't intimately tie me to somebody who's been accused of abuse. That's not okay.
I think he did Uncut Gems too.
Okay.
He's another Weinstein. I mean, in a lot of ways, he's another Weinstein.
Oh, boy.
But he is a guy that does, small. He takes chances on small films or films that are sort of outside of the grain of the usual Hollywood type film.
Mm-hmm.
He has created quite a few amazing films, and he is a terrible, terrible person.
Awesome. Do we know anything
We got him.
specific
Ladies and
about
gentlemen.
wow.
We've got him.
Do we know anything specific about what he's been accused of?
Well, I don't want to get into that sort of thing,
Okay.
but he's just been like assaulting
Great.
Broadway actresses, basically.
Fantastic.
But
All right.
this is a long pattern. He's long been known as, quote, Hollywood's biggest asshole.
Great.
According to Page 6.
Okay.
The most feared man in town is what the Hollywood Reporter called him.
Amazing.
It's just a long. It's like a clone of the Weinstein situation,
It
isn't it?
sounds like it.
It's a guy who was very powerful because he produced very successful films, and then he used
Right.
that power to just abuse and walk on everybody around him. Rita Wilson,
goodness.
Mika, told a story about how she almost quit a project or something like that because he was just really bad to her.
Wow. Great. Fantastic.
Yep. So load up the prisoner shooting cannon.
Oh my goodness.
No, we shoot them out of the cannon.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. I don't know if we're still doing Marvel stuff, but I wanted to say really quick that there is a billboard in L.A.
Okay.
It's on Frimpen Boulevard.
Okay.
I don't know streets in L.A. I know
don't
Sepulveda. That's all I know. That is begging Marvel to resurrect Tony Stark.
Wow.
Yes. It
Okay.
says on the billboard, it says, for our beloved hero, please bring back Tony Stark in an Iron Man font. Hashtag bring back Tony Stark to life. 4/24/21. I don't know what the fourth that is.
That's just the date, right?
Now, this is just, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I don't get what everybody loves about Tony Stark. He's fine. Hey, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
I think that even though he's
It's supposed to be silly.
billionaire,
Speaking of Avengers,
people
it's
relate
after
to
they
him?
save New York and they're showing how everybody's like really cottoning to this superhero thing.
Uh-huh.
And there's the one guy who's like, getting his goatee cut to look like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And then in Iron Man 3, he goes into the TV production van, and there's a guy in there who's like, he's like, hey, mommy's biggest fan. He's got his facial. They're supposed to be pathetic.
Yes.
Several times, people who emulate Tony Stark are shown. Justin Hammer is pathetic.
Right.
And here are all the fans.
Yeah.
Bring back Tony Stark.
I know.
I don't get it.
I think that people relate to him. I mean, I've seen... this just comes to mind, and I don't know if this is part of it or not. I mean, I think people really like him, and they think he's really cool. But I saw this list, and I can't remember where I saw it, but it was like 10 superheroes who have who suffer from mental illness or something like that. And Tony Stark was on there because of his panic attacks.
Oh, not his alcoholism?
Not his alcoholism, because of his panic attacks.
So it's
so people can relate to
some fake fan who doesn't know the history of the character. Okay, cool, interesting.
Okay,
all right. Sure.
Relatable.
But it's not, it wasn't put up by the Mental Health Association.
No,
so.
it was not. This is just some fans.
Bring this guy back and torture this man. Come on,
I know.
for our drama.
This is just some fans who are like, we're going to do a billboard because sometimes this works, begging with companies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to, we're going to shotgun the rest of this here. It looks like Pen 15 star Maya Erskine has been added to the Obi-Wan show.
Okay. All right.
Like everybody, we don't know who she's going to play.
Right.
But maybe another Jedi or something like that.
Sure.
I'd love to drop in a choice Pen 15 quote, but I only saw a couple episodes.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't really like it.
Oh, all right.
That's fine.
I didn't really see it, so I didn't see it at all.
You would love it.
You think so?
I don't know. What else is going on? Oh, I've got a Ray Fisher story, but I'm not going to talk about it. I don't care. He's criticizing Warner Media for tweeting about the Chauvin verdict, and it's like, now you're just eating yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're chewing your own leg off. Yes, I know. You think it's super hypocritical.
Right.
That you think that they are racist to you, and they tweet supporting the correct decision of sending Derek Chauvin to jail for 5 or 6 years, probably. But this is not your time. Your time is to support that correct decision, like everybody is doing.
Right.
So
right.
So
and
too much time spent on talking about him.
Okay. All right.
Aziz Ansari, same thing. What else is going on?
You just said his name.
You hear that LeVar Burton is going to guest host Jeopardy. I think people jumped the gun and thought that this was it, but no, he's only guest hosting.
Oh no, I knew that.
Here are some other people that are guest hosting.
Oh boy.
George Stephanopoulos. This is just a circus. We were talking about this when I was getting my vaccination.
Yes.
This is just a circus.
Yes.
Well,
I know
why waste
that.
time?
I know that name, but I can't picture him.
He's Bill Clinton's press secretary.
Oh.
He's a political commentator.
Okay.
He's
a talker.
He's one of the lizards that you see on Veep, but he's our lizard.
Yeah. Right.
On Veep.
Right.
Robin Roberts, David Faber, Big Shrugs, I don't know, and Joe Buck, a sportscaster. So can we just stop the games already and just make this happen?
Just make LeVar Burton the regular host.
Yes.
That's what everybody
Make
wants.
it so.
Even freaking LeVar wants this. And I didn't mean to say freaking LeVar. I mean, LeVar Burton himself has said, yes, I want to do this. So I think just do it, man.
Don't take my freaking word for it.
Ba-dum-bum.
And in news that hopefully should get you pretty excited, DC's animated Justice League is getting its own comic. Now you say Justice League Adventures was already a thing years ago.
Yeah.
But this is a new version of that. It's called Justice League Infinity.
Oh my God, Cal. I am so incredibly excited about this. Do you even have any idea? Like, because I don't know if fans remember, but I freaking love Hawk Girl. Oh my gosh.
I just showed her the cover.
Oh my gosh. She's like front and center. I freaking love this.
Technically, she's in the back.
Okay, whatever.
It is written by.
Don't take that away from me.
It is written by JM, right? JM DeMatteis. Mm-hmm. He is one of the longtime writers of the Justice League, and I think the Superman show. I don't know if he wrote on Batman or not, but
that's so cool.
One of the dudes.
Okay, I'm really excited about this because it's so hard to find any comics with that version of Hawk Girl, and I love hawk girl from the show.
We'll see if it's a 7-issue series, so it's not ongoing.
All right.
But if it does
but
well,
it's something.
Maybe they'll do something more.
Yeah, I guess I should. I'll try to support it and show them that I
Well,
want more.
we barely made it through any of the news. It's okay. It doesn't really matter. Mindhunter might be coming back. I guess that's the whole story there.
I hope it does.
Anyway, that's it. Some Fast and Furious stuff, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Let's talk on the way out here about NYCC. That's New York City Comic Con.
Mm-hmm. I had to think for a second.
ECCC. That's Emerald City Comic Con.
Yes.
And I'm guessing, Florida SuperCon, and yes, of course, C2E2.
Mm-hmm.
They're all happening later this year. Florida SuperCon in September, NYCC in early October, Emerald City in early December, and C2E2 in mid-December.
I just don't know how I feel about this
Reed Pop,
yet.
what are you doing?
Yeah, seriously.
What are you doing?
I mean, I know that they've lost a lot of money this past year,
just
like any convention has.
We all
but
have.
Maybe just plan ahead for 2022, an even bigger and better convention.
It's not great that they were the last out. They were hanging from the rails of the helicopter out of Saigon in 2020 with C2E2. Yeah. And then waited until the day it was supposed to start to cancel Emerald City, to the point where we were holding our plane tickets like,
yeah.
And then sent us our badges.
Late.
The Monday after the thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening?
I'm not... I want to go back to conventions just like everybody else, but only if it's safe to do so. And I just don't... We don't have herd immunity yet. We don't know what's going to happen. I think it's too early to call. And, even if we can, once we get vaccinated, start to hang out with smaller groups.
At this point, just about everybody who wants to be vaccinated has gotten vaccinated. We actually have
a
surplus.
That that's right?
I've been reading the stories. We have a surplus of vaccines at this point.
It's upsetting to me.
Yeah. You know why? Because half of the country has decided that they don't want it.
Well, how do you think we're going to get through this?
I don't know. What do we do when parents won't get booster shots for kindergarten screening? What do we make them do? Do we make them get the shots, or do we say you can't come to kindergarten?
We say, I don't know, do we say you can't come to kindergarten?
I wouldn't know.
I don't freaking know either. Yeah. See, that's just it.
I remember getting my booster shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I was 4 years old.
One of the first memories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like one of those movies where they lock somebody in a mental institution against their will.
Oh,
and
my
they're pounding on the steel door.
Wow, that bad.
Yeah, I didn't like needles very much.
No, I hated them growing up. I hated them very much.
Now the nurse has to tell me they're done when they're giving me the shot.
Very quick. Yeah, I know,
They're
right?
like, I'm done. Oh, you did it? Okay. Sorry, I'm really tough. That's what the situation is. So it's just, I want to go back too, but I don't know if I'm going to be going back to Emerald City Comic Con or C2E2. Come on, you guys.
I really want to go, but this just doesn't give me confidence that they're taking this seriously.
I know, I don't feel like they are.
And if they aren't taking it seriously, why would I feel safe going there?
Yeah.
So... at least not for a while. Maybe I'll take a break.
If they were really taking it seriously, they would have Sean Ashmore there, not Aaron Ashmore. Did I get it right?
I don't know.
Spins around. You recognize this sound? Well, it's the underground.
This is where I'd go, Mortal Kombat! But I won't, I guess, because there is no Mortal Kombat. It's just general music begins.
Spoiler alert.
Mortal Kombat 2021.
Yeah, right.
Starring some people.
Louis Tan as Cole Young.
Yeah, which I was surprised to find out. We watched a video for a podcast that shan't be named. And they were basically like, it was us, the way that we were going to find out what happens in Mortal Kombat Legacy without watching Mortal Kombat Legacy. Mm-hmm. And we found out that Louis Tan who's been a fighter and a stunt actor and for a while. was slated to be in like the 3rd season of Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yeah, which
but they never released it.
Yeah, they
And I'm
filmed
like,
most of it.
So is it a thing where he's just a karate guy, an actor, and a stunt actor, and right place, right time, pass the audition, or does he have some relationship with the producers
That's a good
of
question.
one or the other?
Yeah, I don't know the answer
Ultimately,
to that.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
No.
Jessica McNamee, I don't know if I'm saying that right, as Sonya Blade. I don't know if you want me to go through the whole thing.
I don't want to wait for you to do it.
Josh Lawson is Kano. Joe Tasilum as Bihan or Sub-Zero. McCad Brooks is Jax. Matilda Kimber is Emily. Who is Emily? Oh, the daughter. The kid. Laura Brent is Allison. I think that was the wife.
These are all the
I know.
big hits here.
Okay, well, this is how they're listed. Tadanobu Asano as Lord Raiden, and Hiroyuki Sanada as Hanzo Hasashi or Scorpion, and Chin-Han is Shang Tsung, and Ludi Lin is Liao Kang, and Max Huang as Kung Lao.
That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, this is by Atomic Monster Productions. If you haven't heard of them, you're probably not an Annabelle fan.
Oh, is that right?
Remember, this whole thing is kind of like a growth on the side of on James Wan's butt. Like it's all that's James Wan's production company.
Wow.
It's produced Annabelle.
I didn't know that.
The Conjuring, the La Llorona. Yeah, this is all connected to that.
I guess I just never really clicked in my head that he was like a horror guy.
He's one of the James Wan.
Yeah,
that's his bread and
that's
butter.
his whole thing.
Yeah, other than car movies.
Okay,
and yeah, he's one of the producers on this film. What happens in this film?
What does happen?
Oh, I want to say first that it's directed by Simon McQuoid.
Okay,
I believe that's how you say his name.
Okay, I'm learning.
And he has directed.
Okay,
nothing. First time.
Oh,
first time.
Okay, I'm learning. I'm not very good at knowing how to pronounce people's names on the first go. So,
well, there's names are made up. All words are made up, but especially names.
Okay. So basically what happens is...
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Shut up! Jax is looking for people who have this, and Sonya Blade as well, are looking for people who have this mark that is like a dragon marking, which basically means that you've been chosen to do Mortal Kombat. And Jax has one of these markings, and they found one other guy, Kano, who has one of these markings. And Jax finds Cole, and he has one of these markings, and it's a birthmark. He's had it since he was born, and blah, blah, blah. And Sub-Zero comes after him, and so Jax is like basically...
I was born on Mortal Monday.
Yeah. So Jax is basically like, come with me if you want to live, and...
Don't do that.
I know. So he goes with Jax, him and his wife and his daughter, and... basically decides he's gonna Jax stays behind to fight Sub-Zero, and he decides he's gonna go find Sonya to figure this stuff out. There's a lot of fights throughout all of this. Basically, then they go on this journey to find this temple where supposedly Raiden is. And then they get there, they do some training, they meet other characters, and they decide that before they fight for Mortal Kombat, they're just gonna fight. There's no actual...
I have nothing to add.
Mortal Kombat. So...
I have nothing to add other than it's apparently a strategy by Shang Tsung, which is why bother...
Hitting your mic? I'm sorry?
Why bother having... facing the opponents in Mortal Kombat when you can weed out all the potential competitors in Mortal Kombat by just murdering them before they get to the tournament?
Yeah, and we've never...
It's kind of like if the guy in The Last Boy Scout just went into the other team's locker room before the game started and just shot everybody.
Right.
Kind of seems like you would have some kind of rule where you can't do that.
Where you don't do that.
But we're exploring that lack in this film.
Yeah.
A film which And I guess spoilers for a movie where a bunch of people punch each other. Is there Mortal Kombat in this film?
I mean, there's fights, but not really.
There's literal. How can you? What kind? Who? What? Flames on the side of my face. Who approaches? Oh, I'll tell you who. I'll tell you who the writer of this film is. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 people so far. Let me expand this a little.
It's always good.
And yeah, it's always great. Sean Catherine. Interesting. A man with a middle name. It's Catherine. That's interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very much.
Is that a thing? Like after like an aunt or something like that? I guess technically
possibly. 2
of them are... that's not right at all. That was not... Forget that.
Oh, okay.
Still, a man could have a woman's...
I don't see why not.
Greg Russo and Dave Callahan wrote the screenplay. A screenplay from Greg Russo and Oren Uziel. Dave Callahan is... they're actually writing partners, I believe, and they have written Wonder Woman 1984. That totally makes sense right there.
What?
Question answered. And writing Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So we are in a lot of trouble as far as that goes.
No.
They also created the Amazon show Jean-Claude Van Johnson and wrote all of the Expendables films. So this is the thing. You tend to think of like movies as being like some virtuoso, some real Herman Mankiewicz type is going to come in here and write something amazing. And the truth is that the vast majority of Hollywood screenwriters are just jobbers that are just going day to day. They don't have something in their let me give you my big script. No, they just get a call, turn this stupid video game into a movie, and they go, great. Well, and however much money they're getting is how hard they work on it. And that's how you get a movie where they never even Mortal Kombat. It would be like if you had a Street Fighter movie and they never fought in a street. In fact, I think they put those army scenes in the Street Fighter movie so that there would be some fighting in a street and nobody would get confused about what a Street Fighter is.
Sure. Right. No, I get what you're saying.
But this movie is about a tournament that never happens.
Yes. Correct. I think that some people, maybe the writers, this was their way. I don't know.
Take your time.
I just think that some people think, what do people want? They want to see people fight. Who cares what's in between? I care because I want to follow a story, and I just don't feel like the story was very strong in this.
Which
overall.
story?
Anybody's story. Nobody has an arc. The only person who has a semblance of a story.
Way too many things going on in this film.
Is Cole, who apparently is doing $200 fights at the last minute because he's a washed up fighter. And
here's what you do.
Yeah.
When you take away the central tournament, there's you take away the framework of the film.
Yes.
And I mean, you go, well, Mortal Kombat Legacy, they're just fighting this tournament. It's fine, but those are also 10-minute episodes on the web or whatever.
Right.
You take away, you do yourself a disservice because in the first Mortal Kombat movie, and we've done it, everybody. We've done it. Somehow I am using 1995's Mortal Kombat as the example of what to do instead of what not to do. But you've got 3 characters.
Yeah.
There's more than 3, but 3 essential characters.
3 main characters.
Who all need something different, and they're all going to get it through their competition of Mortal Kombat.
Right.
That's where they can get it from.
Yeah.
None of these characters, they're all ostensibly brought together and sucked in because they're going to Mortal Kombat, and then it just becomes a series of people trying to kill each other in poorly choreographed fights. Actually, the choreography is fine. The photography was bad.
Yeah, I thought the choreography was pretty great, unlike the 90s films, which I thought was lacking.
Well, when we found out that they were encouraged to ad-lib like both their lines and maybe some of the moves as well, it was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, and if you're not trained on how to do martial arts, how do you ad-lib them?
You leave Bridget Wilson alone.
Yeah.
It's hard to be married to Pete Sampras.
Okay. I did, you're going to make fun of me, but I did really like the actress who played Sonya Blade in this. I think that she is my favorite depiction of Sonya Blade from the films that I've seen.
Really? I like the Annihilation one. I thought she was fun.
Okay. She was all right. I'm sure if I had watched Legacy, I'm sure Jerry Ryan would probably be my favorite Sonya Blade.
We skipped that.
But I thought that Jessica McNamee did a good job with the character. But what I didn't like, though, is they chose. We'll get into this.
No, we'll get into it right now.
She doesn't have the mark.
You get the mark. It's like, okay, so basically somebody saw Highlander, huh?
Yeah, right.
And you get the mark either by being born with it, like an immortal, or by killing somebody who has it, like an immortal in Highlander the series.
Yeah.
And so that first of all, it's ripping something off, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like what it insinuates.
Yeah.
Because look, this is a game and ostensibly a movie about people murdering each other.
Yes.
So we don't have any qualms about taking lives. That's fine. But in the first movie, they did so much to. First of all, only two people die. Goro and are killed by our heroes. Goro, I guess technically Shang Tsung, and
Kano.
And Kano gets his neck snapped
by Sonya Blade.
The only guy that dies in a non-magical way.
Yeah.
But they're fighting for life. It is a combat of mortals. It's Mortal Kombat.
Right.
No idea why they decided to do that, only other than to make it PG-13. Having watched this brutal movie by the guys that did Saw and Conjuring and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to like the good guys, aren't I? That's why you would do that. So they're not all insane murderers.
Right.
And to join this club, you have to have murdered someone already.
Right.
So Liu Kang isn't a hero with a special destiny who's going to save Earth from Outworld. He's just a guy who killed a pedophile in an alleyway.
I know. I don't like it.
It's like, what?
I know. I'm not.
But they never even considered the implications of that.
No.
Morality is never on trial here at all, in any way.
No.
And Sonya is having Sonya be the character. So since you've got this mechanic now in the film where you have to do this, one of the characters has to be the one who is merely fighting, to prove that they're worthy to be in this tournament that never happens. And that happens to be the girl character. And I think maybe in their minds it fit because it's like, she's a girl, should she be here anyway? And she proves herself by taking someone's life.
I know.
So she can be there. I didn't have a problem with that other than all of the pieces are dumb. if we're going to take all these stupid paints and make an okay painting out of it.
I didn't love it because she's the only character who didn't have it and she's the only girl. Of the good guys.
Right. Okay.
So
you hated it for that. I didn't mind it for that.
Yes. I think that they could have chosen another male character and then I would have been fine with it. I think that her being a girl and them being dismissive of her, I just do not like it. It rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. Nothing is explored in any way in this. It's, she and Jax are hunting these people down. Jax is doing it because he has a mark. She's doing it because she's Jax's partner, or she just really wants to solve this mystery.
Yeah,
I don't know. Not explored.
Not her. Yeah.
Sub-Zero kills Scorpion's father, or just kills Scorpion, and then Raiden saves the baby daughter that the assassins didn't know about.
Yes.
Who is that person? Do we see their life? Anything?
No.
All we need to know is that somebody survived so we can have Cole.
Yes.
Everything is like J.J. Abrams' mystery box.
Yeah.
This is just a bunch of boxes that are never looked into, never even the plastics taken off of them, or taken out of the truck. It's just nothing is explored in this.
Well, okay. I liked the initial fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I liked the improvised weapon, which was shovels and rope that becomes his weapon. But
you get to see him as a little kid.
I know. But that was cool and all, but why do we have that as the very beginning if we're not going to follow that character at all and he's just going to show up at the end?
Which one?
Yeah, I know.
Because we don't know why.
I know. Did they...
Why does Sub-Zero do what he does? In fact, in the lore of the thing, it is Scorpion, I believe, who is just a demon, a hell spirit.
Yeah, right.
And there are
Sub-Zero.
A couple Sub-Zeros because one is the son or brother of the other one. There is a legacy there.
Yeah,
but in this, they're just Sub-Zero's bad guy.
And
then the one good actor in this is becomes the hell guy.
Yeah, right.
And he has a kid who he's supposedly passing his legacy onto, but he'll just show up and finish the fight and fight everybody at the end.
Right.
Let's talk about Arcana.
Oh, yeah. Let's. They're fighting They're training in Raiden's temple to find their arcana. This was just the magic word that they decided they were going to use, and it was to find their magic power that was going to give them the edge to beat the bad guys.
Nobody cares.
No.
It doesn't need to be a part of anything. Nobody really cares at all. I have a fun story. When Mortal Kombat 2 was out on the Sega Genesis, it's the best game ever. I disagree. It's a very good game. I think Donkey Kong's better. Donkey Kong sucks. You know something? You suck.
Oh my goodness.
Since we're doing Bridget Wilson and Veronica Vaughn. I was playing it in college, and we had an exchange student from France named Thierry.
Okay.
Or Thierry. And he was fun because he was different.
Yeah.
Not an American.
Well, sure.
So there were differences there.
Yeah.
But we got him into video games, or at least he wanted to play. He'd never played video games. Not that they don't have them over there.
Yeah,
Just
right.
He probably was reading like important books and stuff. So we denigrated him, and he started playing, and he was fighting Mortal Kombat, and he's just doing the thing that everybody does when they first start playing, which is punching and kicking, and not doing any crazy magic stuff. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "How do you do the magic? How do you do it?" And I was like, "Oh man, first of all, I'm laughing at your accent. Second of all, I would take this. Here's a Prima guide. It would take me days to explain how to back forward this stuff." That's it. He didn't need to be. It's a weird world where people shoot lasers at each other. Fine. It doesn't need an explanation.
Yeah.
In fact, you're just doing double duty because number one, how do we explain this? Number two, how can we just tie this into the character's growth so that we don't have to bother to give them like circumstances, or like desires outside of just winning in their stories. And that's exactly what they do, to the point where two characters who have limb replacements and cybernetic enhancements simply just grow magic stuff. Mm-hmm. Like when Jax first had his Bobo arms, I was like, this is interesting. So is this like a magic cyborg or something like that? Because when you think about it, the first robot was magical, right? Talos was built by a craftsman and blessed by the gods or whatever. So like, did these ancient Chinese secret guys have like magical robot arms? Is it still a robot? That's neat.
Right.
No, it's not. It's just something that he grows when he gets his arcana.
Yeah.
Magic robot arms.
Which is when he tries to lift a heavy rock off of Sonya.
If he hadn't had his arms blown off and he'd showed up to train for Mortal Kombat, would the metal arms just gone over his living arms?
I don't know.
Or would they have
just replaced
blown off his living arms? I did it! Oh, it hurts so bad.
It kind of seems that way, doesn't it?
And then Kano can shoot a laser out of his eye. Not because he has a cybernetic eye.
No.
Even though they take the time to have him be gravely wounded on that side of his head.
Yeah.
He just has This is like somebody looked at somebody playing the game for 5 minutes and went, all right, give me a pencil.
You get it. Yeah. Right. No.
And it's not even about, they do that thing that they continually do in these dumb movies. Not just Mortal Kombat movies, but video game movies. And up to Marvel really getting the hold of mining a rich comic universe to put things on screen is they have to do everything and they expect applause for it. Mm-hmm. So a guy goes through a fight, he gets punched 45 times and he murders the other person brutally and then says flawless victory. That's not the people who would even understand what you're talking about would hate the fact that you don't understand what a flawless victory is. Right. This is literally, how are you doing, fellow Mortal Kombaters?
Right.
Like, that's all it is.
Yeah, right. I know. It's stupid. It's like they're like saying, "Oh, we get it. Here's what you want," and it's like completely the opposite of what you want. I also didn't really like Sonya gets powers. She gets like these glowy ring things, and she can just like blast through people. And she was throwing knives before, and she like does kicks. And why is that her power? It just does not.
That's
make
what it is
sense.
in the game.
Oh, is it?
Well, she throws a little fireball.
Okay. All right. I guess I didn't know that's what it is in the game. Okay. All right.
No, your point stands. None of the things that they get make any sense or have anything to do with anything. Like, and since we're talking about Sonya's second murder and powers, let's talk about let's bring it back to sexism.
Yeah, let's do it.
I could be wrong. And it could just be circumstance. Like, I feel like Sonya needing to earn her mark being circumstance in terms of storytelling and not necessarily a pointed sort of sexist thing. Only a few of the characters in this are shown to be brutally killed.
Yeah.
And in the Mortal Kombat fashion.
Right.
And they're almost all the women.
Yeah.
So Hammer Guy, who I don't even recognize that guy.
Name.
I don't even know what game he's from.
Yeah.
But he gets his head squished.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Yeah.
But then there's the bird lady.
She's got bat wings.
Bat wings.
Yeah.
Is that her arcana? Did she just grow bat wings when she punched hard enough?
I don't know. Melina, I think is her name.
No, Melina is the girl with the size.
Oh, Melina is the girl with... Nitara is the bat girl, I think. I do not know.
Is that a Mortal Kombat character?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. That is a Mortal Kombat character.
Okay.
I guess that's from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which I never played.
All right.
Anyway, so she gets killed by Kung Lao.
Yes.
And she cuts her in half with his
hat,
which is one of his fatalities.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the most protracted, gruesome thing that you would expect to see in one of the later Saw movies.
It's very brutal.
And then later on, Melina...
Yes.
Katana's not even in this.
No, you're right.
Melina has her back blown out. She gets brutally, horribly murdered. And I just, like, what's up with the violence against the women?
Against women.
Like, Kano just gets stabbed in the eye with a 2-inch long gnome hat.
I know.
Which they set up at the beginning like that's going to be a great thing.
But it's his special eye.
So it's just like, what's about the brutality against female bodies?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I also think that besides Sonya, the women that were...
Cyrax burns to death, but he just kind of disappears. Mm-hmm. Sub-Zero burns to death, and his face is still... He
fine.
just looks a little like he's sleeping. Mm-hmm. But it's like, no.
I know.
Destroy those female bodies.
Well, I think that they didn't get a lot of lines either.
No, they didn't.
Like, Sonya has lines because she's one of the main characters, but these two characters that were brutally murdered, the Bat Lady, I don't think she said anything. I think she just screeched.
Yeah.
And the other lady, Melina, like...
I mean, women all the time.
Oh, my God.
This ear, that ear, the screeching.
Wow. She has this... Her jaw, one of her things is like her jaw opens really big and she has all these sharp pointy teeth and you know, but she doesn't really say much. So like
she lets Shang Tsung know that the outworlders are blah blah blah.
I know she had a couple of lines, but what I'm saying is I don't think that the people who wrote this script were very considerate about the female roles within it. Period. So this is why maybe they were brutally murdered. This is why maybe they didn't get very many lines. Maybe why maybe this is just me. Why Sonya was the one who didn't have the mark and had to prove
Cyrax had a thing with Kano because they had a rivalry, but then he convinces so Kano does like a heel turn. He's a bad guy. Uh-huh. He warms up definitely to the audience. He was one of the best parts of the film.
He was very funny.
And then he's like, "No, I'm bad." And then you think, okay, so now he can't really. He had a rivalry with Cyrax, but now he can't. He's still got a rivalry with Sonya Blade, I guess. Mm-hmm. Then Sonya Blade and him go off and fight. Yeah. And Cyrax is just quickly killed by Liu Kang.
I think it was Cabal.
Or sorry, no, it's Cyrax.
It's Cabal.
Oh, it's Cabal. That's right. Cyrax is the yellow.
I think
ninja.
They're very similar.
Yeah, they're all very similar.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called palette swapping.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're right. All the people. You're right. Anybody who had a story hook had to be killed in a certain way by a certain person.
Yeah.
And all the people that were just kind of window dressing are the people that you can do whatever you want to. Uh-huh. And that was all the women. So good. I thought it was just brutality by men with tiny dicks, but you actually found a story reason. A bad writing reason.
Not a great reason.
Why that happened. Okay, thanks. I feel satisfied. I mean, I'm not.
No.
Although the movie only made $22 million so far, so I'm not sure if that would be called a success or not.
I don't know. But Sonya...
I hated this!
I know. I think Sonya wanted to kill Melina, though.
I hated this.
Like, she made it clear that she wanted to kill her.
Yeah, well, because she's a murderer now.
Yeah.
I love how she gets... Yeah, because she got stabbed with a sai, and then she just has like a sai hole in her arm the entire time.
Yeah, I know.
And and it wasn't like it went away.
No.
They made sure to keep putting it in there, but it wasn't, she was like, oh, holding her arm.
It wasn't
Just a big
holding her
hole in
back
arm.
at all. Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, this feels like a fan film. It feels like, or like a badly made web series, Mortal Kombat Legacy. It just feels like somebody gave these guys like $80 million to make this, and they're like, do you know what any of the guys do? I don't know what they do. Does he like gnomes or no? I don't know. Movie.
I know.
All set in Gary, Indiana.
Stop.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
it's
trailer,
so specific.
It's very specific.
I don't care enough to look through the bios of all the people that wrote it. Clearly, one of them grew up in Gary, Indiana.
But yeah. She lives in a trailer, but it's not like a trailer park. Like, she must own that land that the trailer is on.
You'd think, yeah. I don't know.
Because there aren't any other trailers there.
They had to fight there so she'd have home trailer advantage.
God.
Also, she uses like traps and stuff. I just think that somebody saw Kill Bill too.
It felt very
But she can't
Kill
beat
Bill.
him in a straight fight? Is he that great that she needs her entire trailer and a gnome to kill him?
It doesn't. I don't feel that way.
Why doesn't she
just
do the
knowing
flip?
Characters.
She grabs him
Yeah.
with the legs.
Yeah.
And then she rips him in half.
Totally should have done that.
Anything. Do anything.
Yeah, I know. Do one of Sonya's like signature moves. So, anyways, I did not care for Cole at all.
Why make a new character?
I don't know.
At all.
I don't know.
Especially, I thought if he turned into the new Scorpion at the end,
that would have been cool.
that would have made some sense in the story. But
Yeah.
instead, he gets like a weird iron body, and I guess he'll be
I
in
don't
Mortal
know.
Kombat 12.
Yeah, right.
And then, but Scorpion shows up and fights on his own as Scorpion.
Yep. And then he just kind of disappears.
Why wait
somehow.
until today, in 2021, on the eve of the Mortal Kombat tournament, to come back from hell to kill Sub-Zero?
I know.
When you could have done it at any time.
I think this.
Presumably.
Okay, this was not very clear. There's something about their blood or something.
His blood touches the spear.
Yes.
That's something I've seen in another movie.
Yes,
And so therefore,
then
yeah.
Scorpion reappears.
Yeah.
But that was not very
No,
clear. I only picked up on that because
Shang
I've
Tsung
watched a lot
didn't
of
say
movies.
make sure his blood doesn't touch a thing because you know
Nope.
what'll happen. Nothing. Nope.
Nope.
It's just everything just happens. Deus ex infernus.
Why did they just want to distance themselves from the 90s films so much? Because, like, what if, like, the first scene that we see...
Well, teasing Johnny Cage. Look, I love Johnny Cage, but
he's not a
having
great
him-
tease at the end.
No,
I'm sorry.
and he's not a great. If you want to, a Mortal Kombat movie will never be about Johnny Cage, say, trying to make a movie. It'll always be about the destiny of the tournament. And Johnny Cage is like the one guy whose arc is very shallow and he has no stakes in the history or the legacy of the tournament. He just wants to prove that he can fight.
Right.
So it's perfect for him to, beat Goro in the first one.
Right.
Prove himself, and then immediately be killed off in the second one.
Right.
Because he doesn't matter or belong to anything else that happens.
Right.
But like to tease him for like, oh, you want to see Mortal Kombat 2? Johnny Cage. Why would I care about that?
I do not care.
In any way.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing.
Unless you cast Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then I'll be there.
Well, yeah, but I do not think that they're going to do that.
Why not?
I don't know. That's a good question.
This is the part where you fall down.
I mean, if they did that, that would be cool. Because wasn't he supposed to be in the first
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, and then he
yeah.
did Street Fighter instead?
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was trying to say is, what if, like, the scene at the beginning where Scorpion's family gets killed by Sub-Zero and stuff like that? Because Cole keeps having these flashes of Scorpion, but he doesn't really know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, what if that was, like, a dream that he had or something?
Ah,
Yeah, right.
football practice.
Yeah, right. Did they just want to distance themselves from the first film so much because what's his name keeps seeing he
Liu
has
Kang.
dreams about Liu Kang keeps seeing dreams of his brother getting killed.
I guess. Liu Kang sucked in this.
He was fine, but he wasn't as good. He was better in the other.
Liu
two
Kang is the
movies.
putative hero of
Yes.
the series, or at least
Yeah.
the early games. And so if you want to add your own whole cloth guy, probably so you can have some stake, the writers of this, get some stake in like future uses of that character. They get paid off of him or whatever. It's pretty cynical. Mm-hmm. That couldn't be. That's not how things work, right? Otherwise, why would you create a dumb new character who never uses any MMA skills? It's not like
He's supposed to be an MMA
if that's
fighter.
his style. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, why do I have Masters of the Universe? Oh, I know why. This is kind of like Masters of the Universe. It reminded me of a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Guys come from another world.
Yeah.
It's really important for some reason to have Tom Paris and like Courtney Cox as a part of it. You know what I mean? Like they're running around at the chicken joint, you know, but also He-Man is there.
Yeah,
it
right.
can't just be He-Man versus Skeletor. Can't do that.
Lord knows why.
And so you've kind of got that here. And so there's
Yeah.
a whole thing where like Goro just is like, yes, I am the princeling Goro. You know, I have the power of the dragon blood or whatever. You want me to go to a farm and kill some MMA fighter? Okay, fine.
I know.
Like, why is he the middle of the movie fight?
I don't know. And he dies.
I know. And he dies mostly because the guy's wife just hits him with a hatchet.
I know.
Just hits him right in the side. I don't care what style you know. Somebody gets you with an axe in the side, that's bad news.
I know.
Somebody should bring an axe.
Yeah.
Bring an axe to it. Why doesn't everybody have an axe?
Right.
Hatchet combat! Chop, 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 chop.
My God. So,
It's a mess. I have nothing else to say about it.
I don't really have much else to say about
Mortal
it.
Kombat
either.
Annihilation was better. I said it.
Wow.
I said it.
You did say it. Do you think that they were trying to do too much with this or not enough?
I don't think they did anything.
Yeah, right.
When I realized that the whole middle of the movie was going to be them just
training
sitting in the temple,
and
training, and they never really actually train. They go back and forth a little bit, but it's not like a. I mean, like if you look, it's not an original idea. Blood sport. Kickboxer. Kickboxer.
Sure.
What does he do in Kickboxer? Guy drops coconut on his nuts. He learns to do the splits, and then he's got to go fight in the tournament, right? Like I understand that that's the middle portion, but they get into this middle portion, and it's like, the sets are boring. They're just, I don't know if it's ad-lib dialogue, but it's just dumb insults, and everybody's fighting with each other.
All the insults are really bad.
And there isn't like cool, like, oh, that's the move. Now remember, Liu Kang, your move is the thing. And their teachers don't teach them anything.
Yeah.
Kano literally just gets so angry. He goes Super Saiyan and gets an eye laser. And then, of course, he's going to bone out because he's learned nothing from you.
Yeah, right.
It's literally just like they just wrote second act training. And then that was it. And then like, what goes in there? Well, I don't know. We'll do this and this. And then the guys will show up. And I guess it's time for the end of the film.
Well, and then like Liu Kang.
And Sub-Zero, the half-assed assassin.
Yeah.
Who just continually walks away from people who are still alive.
Yes, good point. He's like, oh, they're probably dead. My job here is done.
He's bleeding a lot.
Yeah. Liu Kang and Kung Lao are supposed to train everybody. I kind of want to know. So it's Lord Raiden's temple, but what is he really doing there? What is his job in the film?
Putting a shield. The bad guys literally come to the temple and he's like, I'll put a shield up. And they're like, okay, well, we won't try to get around that or do anything.
No.
We'll just hang out until it goes down. So you've got some time.
It's dumb.
To have a scene where an Australian guy just racistly insults like two Chinese people.
I know. It's
cool.
Yeah, right. And then like,
oh, why do we do this? Let's go back to like watching classic movies. I don't understand why we do this.
Yeah, we should maybe go back to watching classic because we are hopeful. Like we talked about this before we started recording this. The trailer for this looked really good. I thought I was very hopeful.
Well, there's a thing where you want to put good stuff in the trailer, and when you watch a trailer, you hope all the good stuff isn't in the trailer. Because when you get to the movie,
you want it to be more.
You're going to be
just
double
trailer.
disappointed because all the good stuff has been spoiled. If you'd just gone to the film and went, wasn't a lot of action, but a couple cool moments.
Right.
But you can just look at the trailer now and go, oh, here's all the story beats in the film.
Right.
And except for the stuff that you can't show on TV, here's all the cool eye laser action things that are going to happen in the movie. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else to get out of it.
Right.
Not even like dumb jokes. My luggage, like they had in the first one. The first one is way better than this. I can't believe it took 16 years to make a worse Mortal Kombat movie.
Wow. I mean, I didn't think the second one was as good as the first one. I think maybe you're right. I think the first one in 95 so far is the best Mortal Kombat film.
Sorry, 26 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Mortal Kombat me, please. Please kill me.
Mortal
Fatality.
Alright, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo,
I don't know why we do this. It's so frustrating.
I know.
This is apparently going neck and neck with Demon Slayer at the box office, although Demon Slayer's been around for a while, hasn't it?
I think so.
I think so too. I don't really know. But anyway, I'm glad that people decided to hear us talk about Mortal Kombat.
You're welcome.
Maybe it's time to quit.
You think?
Yeah. I think we've definitively proved that you can't do a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, maybe don't do any more Mortal Kombat movies. I think we're good. Like, maybe keep making the games. The games are fine. The games are fun. But maybe it's just not a movie.
Well, you're the one that convinced me earlier, not on the show, but like that they're just living up to that part of the game.
The brutal slayings? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
because even
yeah.
like Johnny Cage, who is, like I said, ostensibly just like, a devil-may-care, self-absorbed movie star.
Yeah.
He, makes skull puppets out of the people whose heads he punches off, and he beats them to death with his Oscar. And like the whole point of that's why like you can have the characterization of like Liu Kang, like a noble, warrior who's a Shaolin monk, and then he's like, give me that hacksaw. Like it doesn't the ending, the goriness of the brutality, which is what is being offered, or the fatality, which is being offered to the player, is ludonarratively dissonant from their characters.
Yeah, right.
Right? So you can have, Hellboy come in. They have a lot of like extra characters. Or like in Injustice. Like Superman, I know it's the Injustice world, but like Batman's still a good guy in the Injustice world, right? Mm-hmm. But he's like, all right, let me put the Batmobile tire on your skull, and then it'll tear all the flesh off of your face until we see just your skull, and then your skull will crack, and then your... Dietrich Bader is a good Batman voice, isn't he? I always thought he was inferior, but I found myself going into a Dietrich Bader there for a second. But anyway, it's the brutality is all baked in. So the Flash is going to pull your, skull out through your urethra. And why would he do that? Yeah. Other than this is an edgier world.
Right.
That's the problem. So you're right. That is the 12-year-old boy, the 12-year-old Ritalin junkie inside of these films will always produce something like this. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're focusing on that, it'll never be any good. That's why I thought the PG-13 Mortal Kombat had a better shot at it, because at least it had like, well, we got to make these characters have arcs and be likable.
Yeah.
Sonya Blade will just break somebody's neck, but I guess he had it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, oh boy. Well, thanks for suffering through that with us. I hope it wasn't too bad. But we will be back next week to talk about something else. Until then, though, give us a rating and a review on your listening platform of choice. Subscribe to the show, because that's what we need to win this pre-Mortal Kombat, the combat before the combat.
We're starting the combat early because we don't want to wait for the combat.
The calm before the calm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's what we need to move up in those ranks. We'd appreciate that. Give us 5 tattoos that are obviously just like body mods. They're just brands. Like how do you have a brand that's a tattoo or a birthmark?
Yeah, right.
And it's like completely dragon shaped. You'd be in the National Enquirer all over the world.
It's so weird. And his daughter is just like, it's a birthmark. He's had it since birth. Yeah. And like, it's just
actually,
the most
he got
normal...
it when he killed that homeless guy. We don't talk about that.
Right. It's just like the most normal thing ever. But it's not. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted
it to be a birthmark... And the way Jax finds out about it or confirms it is Jax just walks into the gym. He's a big guy.
I know.
With real Ernie Hudson vibes. Did you get like a Great White Hope vibe out of him?
Yeah, I did. In a good way.
But yeah, he just walks to the gym. He's like, "What's up? Hey, you're pretty cool there. My name is Jax, not Briggs, no last name, just Jax.
Just Jax.
Tell me about that. Oh, it's a thing. Oh, okay. Well, I'm a stranger. See you around.
Yeah, right.
I found him.
I know.
Just
can confirm.
Yeah. So anyway, give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Until then, we're signing off. I'm your host, Caliban.
I'm your co-host, Mikan Hana.
Keep the geek fires burning.